Well, you know what? It is Youth Month, and I think it's quite fitting that we're chatting to such a young woman who's achieved so much. Her name is Phemelo Seane. Good morning, Phemelo. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks, and you?
Fine, thank you. Great having you on the show. Where did your fascination with flying start? Because you started in 2008 after you matriculated in 2007. So where did your love of flying begin?
Well, my love of flying actually began quite earlier than that. When I was younger, we used to travel on aeroplanes, fortunately enough, like when we go away to visit family and whatnot. So that's what first got me going on it. And then in my matric year at school, I realized just how much I loved traveling. And as a career, that really appealed to me, and it almost became an obsession for me. And mostly it was the international destinations that appealed to me more than the local getaways. And, from there, it was set in stone that, tourism is the career direction I wanted to follow. After doing all my research, I found out that, almost the only way to get to these places is either by air or by ship. And, I'm not the greatest fan of water, so I decided to focus more on the aviation aspect and finding a way to combine that with tourism. Yeah. And, because I really wanted to travel and see the world, I decided, initially that I wanted to become an air hostess. And, after going to the airport and seeing how lovely and elegant that the ladies looked in their uniforms, I was convinced that that's what I wanted to do. And then, in my matric year, SAA came to school to give a presentations on being a pilot as part of the career workshops they were running for us. And after the gentleman had explained to me all the perks and benefits and what the job actually entails to be a pilot, it was done. That's what I wanted to do.
But now the direction and take us through what you actually do as a helicopter pilot for the SAPS.
Well, usually for my responsibilities, what I have is like area surveillance, and that's what I'm doing at the moment before I can progress onto the other bigger machines that.
Okay, yeah. And also your plans for the future, because you mentioned, the more commercial travel side of it. Would you be looking to be a pilot on like the Airbus A380, that massive plane, and do commercial flying?
No, not really. I'm not more into the fixed wing or the aeroplane side of it. I'm more into the helicopter. So probably like corporate flying in the future. I'd love to do some of that as well.
You're also involved with an organization, SAWIA, which is all about promoting the youth's interest in aviation and aerospace industry. Tell us a little bit more about it and what it is, your involvement in it.
Okay, well, my involvement in it is that we run like career workshops, and recently we've partnered with Withhold, and we help to give the aviation aspect side of the career choices to the high school students to do. And we're a non-profit organization, and our aim is to make aviation a viable and accessible career choice for women and also men through our outreach programs, and one of them being the Girl Fly program in Africa that we have. And that's targeted at the high school students, and it is designed to expose them to a world of opportunities within the aviation industry, because most people think that the only career choices you have in aviation is to be a pilot or an air hostess, and that's not necessarily true, because, for example, you could become a doctor but specialize in aviation and become an aviation medical doctor, as well as you could become an aeronautical engineer. So there's also these other careers that not many people are exposed to. And we also have partnered with USA Consulting, and we run the Technogirls program. And that is a job shadowing program where we group the candidates and students that we have with, for example, ATNS, which is Air Traffic Navigation Services, and that's usually air traffic control. So for about a week, they spend with the ATC guys, and then 1 week they come to be with the pilots to see how that is running. And that's also that program. It maintains an exclusive focus on careers in math, science, and technology, which is what we're really trying to promote as well.
All right, so what is it that you needed to achieve in school in order for you to be a pilot? For those that are listening right now, what is it that you required academically?
Academically, you need maths, science, and English.
Okay, all right.
Because the focus on English is because the communication that we do on the radio with air traffic control and that it's all in English. So it's, as much as it's important to have your marks in maths and science right, you must make sure you don't neglect English as well, because that's the main language of communication.
You're also busy with developing a scholarship for CPL. The ground school for candidates who have a private pilot license. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Okay, that scholarship, because what I've noticed is once people have completed their private pilot license, sometimes they don't have funds to continue to get their commercial pilot license. And one of the requirements for your commercial pilot license is you have to sit through the ground school and do the examination at the Civil Aviation Authority for those subjects. So the scholarship that I intend on starting is something that can help the students with the funding to go to the ground school, which is sitting through the lectures and as well as extra lessons in the subjects.
Okay.
And then that also, because a growing trend that I've noticed in the industry is that usually if you want a sponsorship with the airlines, it makes you look a bit better on your CV if you have that behind your name. So I'm really trying to push to get that established.
I can see that you're probably going to have a huge impact on the aviation industry in this country. Phemelo, I want to say thank you to you right now for joining us this morning and just sharing your immense knowledge and the journey that you've traveled at such a young age.
Oh, thank you. And before we end this, I'd also like to give the website for SAWIA if people want more information, because we've got a lot of information on there. The website is www.sawia.org, and that is spelled SAWIA, SAWIA.org. And we also have our Facebook and Twitter page that you can Google and have a look at that. And if you want to send emails with more specific questions, you can do so at info@sawia.org, spelled info at SAWIA.org.
Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you so much. We'll continue to give these out for people who didn't get the information. Phemelo, have a lovely day.
Thank you very much. You too.
What a lovely young woman, hey? I just love her. On Twitter, on Facebook, you can get more information about the South African women in aviation and aerospace industry. And the website that she was referring to is SAWIA. That's www.sawia.org. And there you can find out more information about what they do and also how you can break through into this industry. Very, very inspiring young woman. Only 21, already doing motivational talks and also just being the person who, the interface that is able to allow other young people to break into this industry. Her name is Phemelo Seane, and she was our guest on Career.